Hey guys, Roger 5 here with episode number 4 of the Nice Career Mode. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already. And the player of the episode, I stated in the previous episode, it was pretty obvious. It is going to be mans like Perrin. Obviously, he's not got a picture on FIFA, so we're going to use the man. He is the regen of the next Thierry Henry. And he is player of the episode for episode number 3. So it's been all strikers so far. Delort, Guri, and Perrin. Who will be the first non-striker to win it? Only time will tell as we come into today's episode. The first game, we are taking on Saint Etienne away from home. They are another one of the teams that plays quite a defensive formation, so we need to score first, and we need to not have a repeat of what happened at Nantes in the previous episode, because that would not be the best for our league standings. We played some relatively easy teams in this episode, so we should see a lot of goals, just like we did in the previous one, as Kluivert strikes it, and a deflection does help us out there. 20 minutes into the game, unfortunately it's not going to go down for Kluivert's goal, so maybe him putting his hat in for the player of the episode. Unfortunately though, the own goal, it's gonna hinder him slightly, but you know, we know he was the one that initiated shot. In real life, maybe that would have went down as a Kluivert goal, I'm not too sure. But just before the half an hour mark, we double our lead. It is that man again, Guri, however you say his name. He is now joint on goals, I do believe, with Perrin. So congratulations to him. Perrin's actually not playing in this game due to stamina. He was absolutely knackered coming into this one. But, you know, when you've got Delort on the bench, you've got all these fantastic striking options. It's pretty good to see as Kluivert has another strike, and it is again saved by Saint Etienne's keeper, keeping them at 2-0. He's been very, very vital in keeping the score relatively low in this one. As Bard charges from goal, drills it across the floor, doesn't quite work out, but it falls to Claude Maurice, finds Rosario, back to Claude Maurice, curls one, and again it is saved by the goalkeeper, denying us the chance of making it 3-2-0. We go into the second half, just before that hour mark. Gouiri, we're going to call him from Gouiri from now on, dinks it into Cole Palmer, the Englishman, who puts his header just wide off the post, denied the chance of another goal here. Obviously, he scored his first goal in the previous episode, so congratulations to him. And I think he's going to start seeing more game time as we kind of move to the Gouiri and Perrin partnership up top. Kluivert on the left and probably Cole Palmer on the right. And speaking of Kluivert, the young Dutchman does finally get his goal, and it will be his goal this time, making it the very impressive, considering the formation that Saint Etienne play, a very impressive 3-0. I think it's a very, very impressive scoreline from ourselves, but we're not done there as Claude Maurice strikes one just wide of the post. He's also putting his name in the hat for the player of the episode. It's definitely so far between Kluivert, Gouiri, and Claude Maurice, who will excel in these upcoming 2 games left in the episode. As you can see, the return of Charles Perrin, the player of the episode, to the first team. 6 goals in Ligue 1 in 7 games, I think, and most of them actually were as substitutes coming on for Delort in the first few games of the season. So he's impressed quite a lot so far. But coming into this one, at home, we're taking on Stade Brest. And well, a very, very nicely worked goal 5 minutes into the game, and a shocking 1-0 deficit very early on. Not really what you expect. Considering our form so far this season, you don't really expect us to go 1-0 down, but got 1-0 down so early on. We've lost quite a few, so you can expect us to go 1-0 down, but we've been pretty good at not conceding early on and kind of leaving it till late to concede and ruining our day and whatnot. But thankfully, just a few minutes after we go 1-0 down, is that man again. It is Gouiri stepping up, and he's been incredible this season. He's been probably our best player. If he's not been first in the player of the episode, he's most likely been second throughout, as a lovely ball down the wing somehow stays in play. Kluivert uses his pace to get past Herele, charges into the box. He's going to look to play one across to Gouiri, turns his man, strikes it into the opposite corner. Goalkeeper probably wasn't quite expecting that, and he doubles our goal tally, and he puts us in front for the first time in today's game. Exactly what we need. And we now look to push forward. Obviously, Stade Brest, they're one of the lower teams in the league. They're one of the teams we should be battering, And we're going to look to do exactly that as we come into the latest stages of the half. Claude Maurice looking to take his first goal in the game. Doesn't quite work out. He's playing on the left-hand side these past few games, and he's been working quite well, actually. But because of kind of Cole Palmer's influence off the bench, he's kind of maybe going to drop back down to the bench in place of him. But what a goal there by Perrin. Controls it brilliantly, chips it up, and just bicycle kicks it home, or scissor kicks, whatever you want to call it. And we might actually have to kind of change him from the next Thierry Henry to the next Zlatan Ibrahimovic, because that is the kind of finishes you expect from Zlatan. You know, we're just going to have to maybe wait and see to see what kind of player he becomes. Does he become the kind of silky, elegant class of Henry, or does he become the kind of age-defying old striker who's probably he peaked after the age of 30, you know, he got better with age. We'll just have to wait and see. But for right now, he is the Thierry Henry regen. Purely for the fact he's French, he's tall, his dribbling is incredible. As the man we were speaking about just a few moments ago, Cole Palmer, nods home the ball. See, he's 6'1" or 6'2", I do believe. For a youngster, for a winger, that is so good to just drill the cross to the back post, and he will probably be taller than the wing-back marking him, so he can just nod it home, exactly like he did there. And again, another goal off the bench from him, and he's kind of starting to warrant his, put his name in the hat for a chance as he plays through Delort here. He's just going to cut it back to Guerri, and Guerri does secure the hat-trick for the game, 5-1. Obviously, we went 1-0 down 5 minutes in, and we have just completely flipped the game on its head, and it has really, really saved our bacon there in the league as we push for that top half finish and that potentially Europa Conference League placing. I don't know where it is in France, but obviously in England, I think it's 7th is Conference League. I'm assuming it's maybe the same in France. So yeah, that's kind of the position we want to get, maybe 7th, 6th, somewhere between there to get the Conference League. And then next season we have a bit of European football and we can compete at a top level. As this game against Troyes, and it is one of the most boring games you've ever seen. The only chance came from Claude Maurice very early on. Other than that, it was a boring 0-0 draw. We kept losing position in the midfield. They dropped back the whole game. We really struggled against them. And yeah, that's how we end the episode. A boring 0-0 against Troyes away from home. I hope you guys have enjoyed this episode though. If you have, please like, subscribe, and peace.